because it is powerful when we say, I'm healing. Now, we've all been through life. We've all had many adventures. I like to call them adventures. We could call them other things. We could call them bumps in the road. We could call them challenges. I like to call them adventures because we came through them and out to the other side. And then we can also look at concepts that we have taken on and released over the years. And I just want to share that there is an opportunity, no matter how old we are or how young we are, to make changes, to transform. Now, I look out my windows. I shared this last week. I have the most wonderful garden, and it is bursting. It's bursting in pink and yellow and white and that wonderful dynamite blue and the color of your blouse. And all of this just so alive. And you can walk around going, or you can go, oh. It's a choice. Would you agree? Yes. Okay, let's try. Oh. It's a choice. It's a choice. And we make it every moment. And we want to put our hand on our hip and say, I don't have a choice. Because this happened, or that happened, or he did that, or she did that, or it happened. And we always have a choice. We always have a choice. And the choice is, how am I going to connect? How am I going to feel? How am I going to perceive what's happening? Now, I grew up thinking there were only two feelings. You had good and bad. Do you know there's a whole range of feelings? You don't have to feel good or bad. There's so many choices. And sometimes we forget about those choices. And we think that our life, our situation has been determined. And we truly, truly have so many opportunities to look at things in a new way. So I'm going to start with a quote. And let's see if it might not be here. Okay, it might not be here. Well, I can tell you the synopsis. That was a good word I pulled out there. The synopsis of my quote. In the bag, right there. Never mind. The synopsis of the quote is about the multiplicity. Say it again. Multiplicity in the universe. We are all one, and there's a multiplicity in the universe. Paul, stop. I love it. He is the best partner in the world. I'm just saying. He makes a mess. Thank you. It's a good mess. It's a really good mess. Multiplicity tells us that we are one and we are unique. Now, I have to tell you that can be confusing. How am I one with you and I'm unique? How does that happen? Well, that's the diversity of the universe. We come in with our own DNA, our own code, whatever you want to call it, and we express that, and yet we have this connection, this oneness, this feeling like I've had it so many times, like I know you. Do you ever have a feeling you meet someone and you say, I know you? Yeah. I had a feeling when I walked in here about a year and a half ago, I know you. I know you. And yet, individually, I do not know you. Personally, my heart knows you. My experience knows you. I have walked a road maybe similar to yours, and we are on that road together. in our lives, we have the opportunity to grow continually. And I remember sometimes in my life going, I'm tired of growing. This is enough. I don't need any more growth. I'm good, God. One more challenge, one more situation. And when we think of it as an opportunity instead of a burden, it changes, right? We grow. We manifest new things, and we are new in a way maybe we didn't think was possible. So today I have a parable from the Gospel of Thomas. Any of you read the Gospel of Thomas? Have you heard of the Gospel of Thomas? Oh, good, you've heard of it. So that's called the fifth Gospel. It was discovered many years later. Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John were not written by Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. They had died 200 years before it was written. And Thomas was discovered many years later. And the Gospel of Thomas, I really love it. I owned the book, and one day someone said, oh, I'd love to have that book, so I gave it to them. So I can't directly quote Thomas today. But I want to share with you the parable of the land. Have you heard of the parable of the land? The parable of the treasure in the land. Now, does that pique your interest a little more? Yes. Yeah. So the parable is, there is a man who lives on a piece of land, a large piece of land. He's lived there for many years, and he doesn't know there is a treasure in his land. That man dies. His son inherits the land. He lives there his whole life, and he never knows there's a treasure in his land. Now, this continues 3 generations. They live on the land and never know there's a treasure in the land. Eventually, the land is sold. And the man who buys the land goes out and tills and works the land. And he finds the treasure. So what does that mean to us symbolically, metaphysically, spiritually? So you can be a person who lives a life and never really does that inner exploration that is called tilling the land. What about having a relationship with your divine nature? If someone came up to you, this would be odd. If someone came up to you and asked you, do you have a relationship with your divine nature? You might go, this man needs help, or this woman needs help. What are they talking about? But having a relationship with your divine self is the key to harmony in life. So if I would ask you, when did you first have a relationship with your divine being? Many of us, it would be as a child. I would have to say, for me, it was in my childhood that I felt a connection with something greater than me. It was loving, it was kind, it was gentle, and I could trust it. Now, when we are willing to look at how could I grow in my spiritual relationship with my divine nature, then we ask some questions. What is it that would stretch my ability to love? What would stretch and heal my mistrust? I'm not going to ask you to raise your hand, but I have a feeling there's someone here, maybe all of us, who have a mistrust of someone, something, an ideology, a thought process. So what does mistrust do to us? Now, you don't have to agree. Remember, we've talked about this quite a lot. We don't have to agree. But to mistrust is creating a barrier. And really, it's saying, I'm better. I'm better. What about that other piece where we could say, I am okay? I am okay. And you're okay, and I don't have to appreciate you. And that's okay too. What about that feeling of doubt? And that sense of, I doubt you. I question you. I don't believe you. Of course we all have doubts. Does that block us or does it improve us? What would it feel like for you if you lived on the land? In other words, you were living your life and there was a treasure and you didn't find it. What was the treasure? It's your inner knowing. It's your divine self. It's the wisdom. It's the love. It's the light. Do you have a relationship with that? Sometimes we wouldn't use the word relationship with our divine nature. Does that seem like a unique way to put it? And it's so different than looking outside of ourselves to a God out there versus an integral part of who we are. This divine nature is who I am. In fact, I can't really lose it. I can't even fake it. It's who I am. So it's the willingness to stretch that relationship, to grow that relationship, to develop that relationship. So wonder if you were the man who bought the land and immediately found the treasure. You like that one? That's good. I immediately found the treasure because I followed the instinct to do some work. Ooh. No. Often we just want it to come to us, right? We just, come on. And we stand in the same spot. We don't move. We don't move forward. We don't move back, sideways. Come on. God, come to me. We have to be willing to put energy into it. Now, people say to me, well, how do you do that? Well, I journal or I listen. I just listen, sit and listen. And sometimes it's, and sometimes there's a word or a picture or a thought. We have to set aside quiet moments where we listen, where we just listen. Now, some of us are attached to noise. I won't ask you to raise your hand. Some of us are attached to noise, and we absolutely love that. So this is about changing our consciousness. This is about growing, no matter what age we are, no matter what thought pattern we've had before, no matter our upbringing, our background, a change in consciousness. Because I have a relationship with my divine nature. I don't have a relationship with your divine nature. So many years over the years being a minister, people will come and ask me, what should I do? I don't know. Only you know what you should do. Now, I'll pray with them. I'll pray with you to listen to your inner guidance. That is the beauty of it, that it is personal. Every one of us has a personal relationship with the divine nature. And then it's always more. Divine nature is always more than everyone in this room, everyone in Salem, everyone in Oregon. The divine nature is always more. And do I connect with you through my divine nature, or do I connect with you through my ego or my personal thoughts? I have a choice. again, I have a choice. And what do I choose? What do I choose? So when we think about that parable, you ask yourself, who am I? Who am I in that parable? Have I been living on that land? And I didn't even know there was a treasure. I'm telling you, that would be a little disappointing. And the treasure is the divine nature. That's the treasure. And I didn't know it was there. Well, why didn't we know it was there? Well, maybe we weren't exposed to it. Maybe we didn't have the time. Anyone didn't have the time to spend with your 5 minutes listening. I didn't have the time. I didn't have the money. Oh, boy, yeah. Didn't have the money. I didn't have the right piece of property. Everyone else got the right piece of property, but me, I got left out. Okay, I know that idea. Anyone ever? I've been there. Everyone else got it, and I didn't. Yeah, everyone got to be tall. I didn't. Yeah. So that feeling of never ever, I never ever got a chance, and then we're bitter or confused or whatever we are. Spiritual relationship with my indwelling divine nature. Am I willing? Am I willing? And what would it take for me to be willing? Would it take a decision? Would it take confirmation? Would it take an idea? So I have a little story to tell you, a Victoria story. Throughout my life, I've questioned. You think a minister doesn't question? We probably question more because we're in it every day. We're swimming in it. And there's work to be done. There's more to learn about yourself. There's more to share with people. And many, many, many moons ago, before I was a minister, I was searching for different paths, different ideas. Somehow I have this memory. I was in a park with a group of people walking through trees and nature and whatever. And I stop and I hear a bird chirping. And the bird is in the tree. And the people were kept walking, and this Native American man who I had never met came and stood right next to me and said, "That's a message." I said, "Really?" He said, "Every time you notice something in nature, it is spirit talking directly to you." So when you hear that bird call, when you notice these purple azaleas at my house, I have quite a few of these plants. I do talk to them, I'll be honest. They flourish, and I'm so proud. I'm kidding, and I'm not. But that sense of knowing that every time you notice something, you see that cloud floating in a certain direction. You see that leaf on the tree. You see the dandelion. Anything you notice, it is the universe speaking directly to you. Now, only you would know that message. That day, that message was, you are not alone. I was starting to go through a divorce, and I was very scared. And that bird did not physically. I was in tune and heard that message. So I have another story to share. A few years ago, Paul and I were on a journey that we've taken many times back to Montana to visit his family. So out of my element. The ranch, the horses, all of this, big family, lots of elements that I'm, even after all these years, I kind of walked through carefully. And there had been a mini reunion. His nieces and nephews came to see Uncle Paul, and we'd had a great time. stayed with his family, and it was the day before we were leaving. And I feel out of my element there, I'll be honest. And they're just talk, all the memories and all the things that are going on. And it's the last day, and he and his sister Annette, who I adore, the three of us were going for a walk. And we were walking in the fairgrounds, just a couple. She lives in Twin Bridges, 200 people. That's where we were. 200 people in Twin Bridges, and we were in the fairgrounds. People from all over would bring their animals and things like that. And it was empty, and we were walking, and they kept walking. And I felt tired, so I didn't keep walking. And I was feeling a little left out. See how that... You can go right there with me, can't you? Or you have another feeling, and all of that is good. And as I was standing there, there's this whole area of gravel, bigger than this room. I mean, zillions of rocks and gravel and whatever. And I'm just like, and guess what? I looked down and saw a heart. Now, I had tears in my eyes. I could not believe there was a rock in the gravel in the shape of a heart. I was loved. I am loved. I'm always loved. In a moment of disconnect, I felt left out. Immediately, treasure. I found the treasure. Now, this little rock would not mean anything to anybody else in the universe. But it is in my spiritual room, on my little table, where I pray and meditate. Because, to me, it was a message. I found the treasure. Now, everyone's treasure certainly would not be a little rock and gravel. I know that. Thank you, Beth. It could be a friend. It could be a book. It could be a phone call. It could be a hug. We are never alone. We are never alone. And that spiritual relationship reminds us we are never alone. No matter how difficult it seems, no matter how hard it seems, no matter how challenged we may be, there's a treasure in the land if we are willing to go in, to dig, to do the work to find it. So we're going to start and go into our meditation now. Invite you to get comfortable. That didn't mean go to sleep. Just kidding. Just kidding. Let's breathe together. Something so special to be in a room where you can trust your breath, where you can breathe effortlessly without any thought. I'm here right now. And we know with confidence that there is an essence of love, of light, of joy, of wisdom within us. The divine nature. That is within us and all of life. I invite you to put your hand on your heart or open your hand as a sign of openness, or just let go. Just let go. I am. I am. In your own words and in your own way, saying that to yourself. I am. And I willingly and joyfully open myself to that relationship with my divine nature. And I ask to see the treasure within me. To know it, to live it, to be it, to share it. So we're going to have a little time in the silence today, just to be here. Be here now. To be in your field, to be where you feel drawn to a place of nature. We move into this time of silence. I invite you to feel the love in your heart, in your mind, in your body. I am loved. I am loving. Sing that to yourself. I am loved. I am loving. I am willing. I am willing. I am free of doubt. I am free of fear. I am. The treasure is within. And I am willing. find it, to share it, and to be it. And so it is. Very slowly, moving your body just slightly, opening your eyes when you're ready, not a minute before. Even if you think you should, you don't have to open your eyes yet. Deep breath.